A 10-year-old boy was arrested by the police. A woman is run over due to road rage. And this couple have a wedding for $500 on the freeway. It is my wash day, so my hair has some product in it. You know, my curl activator and conditioner, so excuse all the whiteness in my hair. But yeah, it's just product. Anyway, I realize I don't say my name at the top of the video, and some of you might not know my name. My name is Kenim. Kenim like denim. Yes. So let's go. Let's talk about this. All right. So there's so many stories. So I'm just going to do an all-in-one video. Not a usual thing, but I figured if I wait a day to post it, it's not going to be newsworthy anymore. So, hey, let's talk about this. Number one. Okay. So the first one is the police arresting a 10-year-old boy. It is so disturbing, this footage of this 10-year-old boy being arrested by the police. Disgusting footage. Like,
what is y'all doing?
Guess what I'm doing.
Hey, you're like a baby to me. Why you?
Guess what I'm doing.
I don't know what you doing. I just see you snatch him up off the. So what? So what's going on then?
You're stealing stuff. If you break into your house to steal something.
Nah, man. What, you selling a bag of chips? So y'all treat me like a whole cold-blooded killer?
Keep walking, dude. You don't even know what you're
keep
talking
walking.
about.
I know what I just came up and see. I know just came up and see.
Okay, what did you see?
I see y'all snatching him up a bike like you're a man.
Wasn't him.
Ain't he saying it wasn't him? What y'all doing?
That's crazy. How old is he? 10 years?
What talking about, man?
That's against the law.
What y'all doing?
Old, you cannot put that.
What is y'all doing? Take the chips. If he stole some chips, I'll pay for him. I'll pay for him. You don't even know where he lives. Y'all just throwing him in the car.
That's what they do. They come here.
Do it.
I understand that it's something that Black Americans have known since time, but I think because of social media, these stories are being pushed out more in our faces, so we're all more aware of these disgusting things that are happening. And as a first generation African American, I'm sorry, it's not acceptable to me. You know, it's not something that I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, man, this is how it's always been. For me, it's just so disgusting and disturbing. And I think I just didn't know before social media, I didn't know how bad racism was. You don't think about it. When you think about the education system in America, you think about the way that they teach us Black history, they leave a lot of things out of it. They leave a lot of the little details that are really graphic and really horrific, and how white people have abused Black society. They leave this out, and it's to whitewash everything and to make white people not aware of what the culture, white culture, has done to Black people specifically. So watching this police officer not only arrest a 10-year-old boy, then not just one, a bunch of them. You needed 4 or plus for police officers for this 10-year-old that stole a pack of Doritos. You needed 4 police officers to do that. And then one of them is like justifying it. Think about the trauma that this young boy is going to have. Think about how traumatic that's going to be for him. Because like they say, trauma is like anything can cause you trauma. But for me, that's what is so disturbing, right? You treat a young 10-year-old boy. I can't even imagine getting arrested at the age of 10 and thinking about how traumatic that would be. You know, it's so disturbing. And so this boy's going to be traumatized. They took him. That's like the worst nightmare of a child. Tell any 2-year-old that you know, I'm going to take you to jail, and see how they react. That's their biggest nightmare, between like, I'm going to eat you or I'm going to take you to jail. Those two things will horrify them. It horrifies kids. So taking this young boy to jail, even if like they didn't book him or whatever, the fact that you put him in handcuffs and dragged him into a police car, he's going to be traumatized for the rest of his life because of that. This is what white supremacy does. It's disgusting. Glad that social media shines a light on these stories, because really we just wouldn't even be aware of these stories. I don't know what else to say about this story. It's really disturbing. I'm really disturbed. I'm really disgusted. Every day it seems like there's a new story about brutalization of Black people. and the disregard for Black lives. And then you see white people in the comment section saying, "Oh, we'll get over slavery," or why do you have to make everything about race? It's because you don't have to deal with this. You can't even fathom them arresting a 10-year-old white boy. You can't even fathom it. It doesn't happen. So you don't have to deal with that. But this is what race, these are the implications of race. All your microaggressions, all your racism, all the things that you try to whitewash and cover up, when you try and dismiss these conversations about race, this is what is allowed to continue to happen. This is what is perpetuated. So yes, we're going to always talk about race. This is what we're going to do. It is disturbing. I am disturbed. I am disgusted. I do not accept it. And we're going to keep talking about it. So actually, I don't have much to say about it other than to shine more light on this so more people can see this and talk about it. It is disgusting. Police are disgusting in this country. We need to do something about the police force. Why nothing is happening? I don't know. How do we make change? How do we defund the police and abolish the police unit? I think it's more than that. I don't necessarily believe in defunding the police in that context. But what I do believe in is training them and de-weaponizing them, removing all their weapons. They should not be allowed to have guns, because had that boy been 14, he could have been shot and killed. And they might have shot him even as a 10-year-old boy. It's really disgusting. Very sad situation. So to the next story, this crazy man runs over this woman. So he had road rage, and he ran. And when you look at his picture, he looks exactly like the New York shooter. I don't want to call him, because the New York shooter, the guy that shot up the subway in New York City. He was in the Red Pill. He was part of the Red Pill community. And some of these Red Pill community people, they don't understand that the Red Pill was founded on white supremacy. And I talked about this in another video, a CNN video on my other channel, the Kenim O show. But the foundations of the Red Pill was built on white supremacy and all of that. And so a lot of these Black men specifically who champion the Red Pill, they don't realize that they're championing white supremacy. So here we have a Black man in some sort of road rage goes after a Black woman. And I saw this really interesting video that just told me a lot.
We don't fucking want to help each other. Let's talk about it. We hate on each other. We don't actually lift each other up. We talk all of this. It don't matter what the white person thinks. But when it really come down to it, we don't help each other. And a lot of the times, it be a lot of Black people, and I'm going to get killed for saying this, but it's fucking true, that blame white people, and it's not on them, it's on us. And we don't want to eat that shit. And that's what I'm fucking tired of. Why don't we do that? Why don't we help each other the same way they do and stop fucking blaming them for some of the we find ourselves in moments when we have to take accountability?
You're right. So what are we going to do about it?
Stop hating on each other. That's where it starts. We can't slap each other at the other guy's event. We can't do that kind of shit, yo. We got to stop complaining about what we're not getting when we're not even appreciating what we have. And I know they're going to come at me for that, but we talking today. That's where I'm at. Yeah, their opinion shouldn't matter. But that's not even the fight. We got to get to the point where their opinion is irrelevant. Right now, it's not irrelevant. It matters. And that's going to be the case until we realize that the only way that we can get beyond this point of where their opinion is relevant is to actually genuinely be for one another. Period.
If we treat our people like this, what do we expect? What do we expect? What do we expect? How do we expect white people to treat us? So we have to do better. We have to treat ourselves better. It's so so many stories. I'm so traumatized. Oh my God. She broke her neck. She's severely injured. There's a GoFundMe. And it's the same way, it's almost like the same way that white people in America believe that they have ownership of Black bodies and have the rights to abuse Black bodies. It's almost the same way that Black men in the Red Pill, not all Black men, please, not all black men, but these black men that buy into the patriarchy of white supremacy, they also perpetuate these things, and they also believe that they have ownership of black female bodies, and they brutalize black female bodies in very similar ways that white supremacy does. So it's a very interesting thing. So they are, in a way, they are white supremacists. I would hate to just make assumptions about him because we don't know much about him, but we know that he had road rage and he went after this woman. He physically looks very similar to the other guy from the New York situation. This guy was from New Jersey, the other one from New York. And I'm just saying, like, I've seen a lot of men like this, you know, who fit that same sort of description. I'm not saying all men are like that. I'm not saying all black men are like that. Absolutely not. They're very amazing. Some of the best human beings I know in this world are black men. So I can't even believe into that system. So with some good news, shifting gears completely, this couple have a wedding on the freeway in California for $500. See, part of me loves the cost effectiveness, right? These are financially savvy people. They're intelligent people. I don't look at it like they're trying to be ghetto or anything. I know a lot of people, especially pretentious people, will look at that like, oh, they're ghetto and they're like hustling and they're cheapskates. To me, I see very intelligent, very smart business people. That's what I see. That's like, that to me, that's like the smartest thing I could have ever heard. I would not be surprised if they're millionaires.
Miracle. A breathtaking wedding with mountain views was the setting for Joel and Kiera Broken Brow's big day on February 12th.
It was just so refreshing just being at that wedding day, just seeing her.
A dream come true on a budget. The couple spent just $500 for their wedding.
Our goal was to just be as minimal as possible and to spend the least amount of money as possible.
And they did just that. The whole ceremony cost just $500.
A lot of people gifted us things. Like my godmom, she gifted us flowers. My sister gifted us a runner. My godsister and my auntie gifted us with a cake.
Weddings can cost a fortune. The national average, close to 30 grand. And in Kiera and Joel's home state of California, the average is even higher.
Dress is check.
So how did Kiera pull it off? She started with the dress, which cost just $47.
I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a dress because I had the mindset, I'm going to wear this one time for a few hours.
Then she found the perfect location, right off the freeway. Keyword being free. And for the reception, guests paid for their food and drinks themselves.
The people we had there, they understood the assignment. They understood the things that we were trying to do, and they really supported us.
Kiera hoping their wedding on a budget serves as a reminder to other couples thinking of taking the leap themselves.
You have a wedding with witnesses there to witness you vowing to your spouse, vowing to God that you guys are going to stay together for life, and then you celebrate with food, drink, and dance. And that's exactly what we did.
At the end of the day, when you think about marriage, marriage is not about the ceremony. A lot of people spend a lot of money on that ceremony and they're divorced in a year, or they're divorced in like 2 years. A lot of people are more obsessed with the idea of getting married as opposed to marriage. It's the marriage itself. And I love seeing these two, this couple just promote this idea that we don't even care about the wedding. All we care about is that we're together and that we're united. And it's a breath of fresh air because there's a lot of content online that goes against women and men. A lot of dating content that, you know, they position women as hypergamous. They position women as gold diggers, you know, and we see a woman who is the one that's very vocal about this. She spent less money on her wedding dress than her husband spent on his.
And for their outfits, Kiera spent just $47 on her wedding dress, and Joel's suit was $100.
And I actually still wear the pants. You know, if I want to go out, I can still wear the pants. Yeah. I can still wear the vest if need be, the bow tie if need be.
And on his outfit, right, she spent less money, right? Even though he can reuse his, as he said, and she probably can't really reuse hers. Maybe she will. But at the end of the day, it just goes to show that no, people that claim that all women are hypergamous and all women are gold diggers and all women are whatever, this is a perfect example. And there are so many women like that. I know many women like that are more interested in having strong quality relationships than the marriage and then the superficial things. And I think the people that think that about women, you're just probably looking in the wrong place. And maybe perhaps you attract what you are. So maybe look within and fix within so that you could attract what you really want deep down. But such an interesting story. I love that. And it shows that these people are not broke. They went on a honeymoon in Mexico right after. So they clearly wanted to save money or spend money on what they believed in. And I really believe in that. You know, I hate it when there's social pressure for me to spend money on things that I don't value. Like if you go to like a nightclub or something with friends, or you go on vacation and some people want to do this and you're like, I'm not interested in doing that. I don't value doing that. And then spending my money, my hard-earned money on things that I don't value, that really pisses me off. And so another thing that's really great about the two of them is like they were like a team working together to make this wedding as affordable as possible.
We didn't set a budget, but we knew that we wanted to be as frugal as possible. So however we could cut costs, like that was the goal.
The original plan was a courthouse wedding. She's a bride. But Kiera wanted something different.
I was like, well, we should do like an elopement type thing with family. And then I thought of that place and I was like, oh, well, let me see if it can happen. I did my research and it could.
That place was off the Angeles Crest Highway, which ended up costing nothing because the couple only invited 30 to 40 people, well under the number needed to buy a public permit. The Broken Brows say their guests were very supportive.
The people who paid to fly out here came to a wedding, and then, you know, they knew that they would, you know, if they wanted food and drinks, that's available for purchase. So they knew that. And they came, I didn't hear anyone complain.
All their guests were there to celebrate their love, not for the shows or the pictures or the whatever. And guess what? They still got breathtaking views. They still got a really cool, unique, dynamic wedding, you know, on the freeway, on the roadside, but it was still stunning. It looked like, you know, a wedding that I went to in Italy, right, in Lake Como, where we got an incredible view. They got that right in California, right on the freeway, right? So, I mean, watching them work together to put this wedding together and save as much money as possible, that just already tells me that they're getting into this marriage with the right mindset, because they say the biggest thing that couples fight over is finances. And you see all these like things on social media. I remember there was recently something about a guy having $16,000 in his savings, and he spent about $4,000 of it on his wedding ring for his fiance. And then she had requested that she wants him to spend more money on the wedding. He wanted to save that money, invest it into their future, but she wanted to spend all that money, the $16,000, on their wedding. And look, and you see the comment sections. Everyone's like, look, you guys have very different financial goals and you guys clash financially. And so that's a big problem. That's a big red flag. And with these guys, they both know that, look, we want our wedding to be as affordable as possible. This is our priority. They are financially aligned. And it's already a big sign to me that these people are really focused on the right things, which is like having a quality relationship. You never know. At the end of the day, you never know. But this is what I'm reading. Cost effectiveness, teamwork. I see it all. And they're there for what the real thing about the marriage, which is love. Not about the money, not about the finances, not about all that stuff. But clearly the finances are part of it because they're using that as a tool to build their love and build and grow. And that's a great example of what love really truly is. And to see a bride do that, that's inspirational to other brides. And I'm not saying that people should look at this and they should aspire to marry somebody that's not on their financial checklist, or in terms of like where you're trying to build your life to be. If that person that you're getting married to isn't aspiring to do that, I'm not saying marry down. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you guys are financially aligned and you guys have the same vision and you work as a team, well, that's incredible. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. My name is Kenim, and see you next time. Peace.